You know when you're scrolling through your feed and you see someone who looks, well, just perfect, and you kind of have to wonder, is that person even real? Well, more and more, the answer is nope. Today, we are diving deep into the wild world of hyper-realistic AI influencers. These are digital people who look so real, they're actually landing huge brand sponsorships.
So, let's start with a little test. Take a look at this picture. What do you think? Real person or just some really clever code? By the time we're done here, you're not just going to know the answer, you'll know exactly how to create someone just as convincing yourself.
And here is the absolute best part. You can do this whole thing completely for free. I'm going to walk you through every single step. We're going to turn a basic picture into a living, breathing, totally realistic personality. You don't need a fancy camera, you don't need a studio, you don't need to hire anybody. Seriously, all you need is your computer.
So here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with the overall blueprint just to see the big picture. Then we'll get our hands dirty creating the character, finding the perfect motion, getting the pose just right, and then the fun part, bringing it all to life.
Okay, let's jump right in with the blueprint. Before we get lost in all the cool tools and tricks, let's just zoom out for a second. This is the entire roadmap for how we're going to take one single static photo and transform it into a moving, talking video.
It really all boils down to these 4 stages. First, we have to create and then polish up our character's image. Think of this as casting our digital actor. Second, we need to find a video we can borrow the movement from. Third, we use a little AI magic to make our character copy the starting pose from that video. And finally, we put it all together to create the final animated influencer.
All right, let's tackle step 1, creating our character. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with the face. You could argue this is the most important step of all, because this is what's going to define the whole look and feel of our AI influencer.
So our quest starts on Pinterest, which is an amazing resource for this. You're basically hunting for a really good, high-quality photo, but, and this is super important, the face has to be crystal clear and the person needs to be looking straight at the camera. That's a non-negotiable, trust me. It's what the AI needs to work properly later on.
Now for the part where our character becomes truly one of a kind. We're going to take that photo we found and pop it into a free tool called Visc Lab AI. You upload the image, give the AI a little direction with a text prompt, and boom, it starts generating completely new, totally original characters based on that first picture. This is how we make sure our influencer is 100% unique.
You know how AI-generated pictures can sometimes look a little soft, a bit blurry? Well, we have a quick fix for that. We run our new character's face through a free online image upscaler. It's a critical little step that takes the image from pretty good to sharp, detailed, and professional. The better this image looks, the more believable our final video will be.
Okay, so we've got our character's headshot, and it looks amazing. But an influencer has to move, right? That leads us straight into step 2. We need to find some motion. Pinterest is again a great place to look. You're searching for a video with nice, smooth movement, something that feels almost like a cinematic shot. Once you find the perfect clip, you need to grab 2 things from it. First, take a screenshot of the very first frame and save it as an image. Second, you just copy the video's link and use a simple online downloader to save the whole video file. All right, it's time to solve a really important piece of this puzzle. Right now, we have our character's face, and we have the starting pose from our motion video. The next challenge is, how do we get our character into that exact same pose? For this, we're going to use another incredible free tool called El Marina. This thing is seriously smart. You just feed it 3 things: your character's picture, that first frame image we saved from the video, and a little text prompt. The AI then mushes it all together and spits out a brand new image of your character, perfectly copying the reference pose. It's awesome.
And that brings us to the grand finale, the part we've all been waiting for. It's time to bring our character to life. We've done all the prep work, we've got our motion video, we've got our character in the perfect starting pose. Now, it's time for the magic.
For this last step, we'll use a website called vvan.video. It has this feature called Character Swap. The process couldn't be simpler. You upload the full reference video for the motion, then you upload your character's image that we just posed. Oh, and here's a pro tip. Make sure you select the Pro model. Somehow, it's totally free. Just remember, the free plan works for videos up to 15 seconds.
Now, just a quick heads up. Because these amazing tools are free, they're not always super fast. The final video generation can take a little while to cook.
So you might have to be a bit patient while the AI does its thing in the background.
So, after following all those steps and waiting just a little bit, here it is, the moment of truth. Let's see what the final fully animated clip looks like.
And honestly, the result is absolutely mind-blowing. The movement is so fluid, the look is so natural, it's so incredibly realistic that it's almost impossible to tell that this isn't a video of a real living person.
So what can you actually do with a skill like this? Well, the sky's the limit. People are already using this exact process to build massive Instagram pages and YouTube Shorts channels. You can create endless content just by mixing and matching different characters with different motion videos. And get this, brands are totally on board and are actively paying these virtual creators.
And that just leaves us with one final, pretty big question to think about. When literally anyone can create a perfect digital human being in just a few minutes, what does that actually mean for the future of content, social media, and, well, for reality itself?